an OFW and you feel like parang ginagawa ka ng ATM, yung tipong kinakamusta ka nila pero alam mo kasi may kailangan sila sa iyo eh. Kasi gusto nila yung padala mo. Eh paano naman ikaw eh tao ka din. Kapamilya ka rin, parang tinuturing kang bank account na kada kamusta parang mas hinihintay nila yung padala mo more than ikaw makamusta ka nila. Mahirap yun, di ba? So if you are an OFW, what are the things that you can do kung parang ganun na yung naging setup? Oh, nagpapadala ka, mahal mo sila, pero parang feeling mo, ba't ganun? Hindi nyo na ako tinuturing kapamilya, tinuturing nyo na akong ATM. Watch this video. Balik lang ako sa yung sa OFW na, di ba, minsan nagpapadala, tapos sabi mo nga, ingat sa pagpapadala kasi minsan ginagawa tayong ATM. Pero minsan, sad reality, na yung nagiging treatment na lang sa kababayan natin, ng family nila sa Pilipinas is, hindi na sila kinakamusta, pero yung pera na lang talaga yung parang wala na, hindi na nakikita as a person, yung kuya nila o yung nanay nila nasa abroad. Any advice doon sa mga kababayan natin na nafe-feel nila na parang hindi na nila ako kinakamusta as a person or anong kalagayan ko dito, kung okay ba ako, pera lang talagang habol nila. And any comforting words can you share? Kasi that happens masakit yun eh.
That's true. Like, minsan pag alam mong, halimbawa, sahod is maybe every 30th, end of the month, uy, bakit nagpaparamdam na 28 na kasi, di ba? There are those, we've had, like, a lot of Filipinos has expressed that, na minsan nga feeling na pagpalapit na yung sahod, saka pa nagpaparamdam. Again, I think it's really about focusing what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. We cannot control how our family will treat us. We cannot control whether or not, we cannot control that, if they should like talk to us every day, dapat kamustahin. That's something we cannot control. But what we can control is we can express. So we can always say, like you can always say it to your family, and you can also say it to your, like, say for example, friends na nangangamusta lang kung kailan, na parang you maybe padaanin mo sa isang joke, or you could actually do a heart to heart kung ganyan yung level of relationship nyo, 'di ba? Na parang not saying na bakit hindi mo sasabihin na okay, bakit saka lang po kayo nagpaparamdam pag malapit na po yung sahod, 'di ba? But it's more of how you say it na, I like it. Alam niyo po, ma, gusto ko po pag kinakamusta niyo ako. 'Di ba? Na ma, alam niyo, natutuwa po talaga ako pag nagsisend kayo ng Facebook na mga post. 'Di ba? Ma, natutuwa po ako pag nag-aano po kayo. It's not really telling them what to do, but it's telling them that you appreciate what it is. If say for example, hindi talaga sila talaga yung tipong kumokontak lang sa'yo pag pag sahod na, 'di ba? It's also saying na, how about saying na, namimiss ko rin kayo, baka pwede niyo akong, mag-usap naman tayo kahit next week, be a proactive part of, member of that relationship. If it's a two-way relationship, be a proactive member instead of just complaining na, naku, hindi ako kinakausap, 'di ba? Make the effort, be proactive. Alam mo, kwentuhan kaya tayo next month. 'Di ba? Kasi baka naisip din 'yun, hindi natin alam, baka naisip din ng pamilya na 'yun na busy 'yun. 'Di ba? Baka walang panahon 'yun kasi sinasabi sa akin palagi, pagod siya palagi sa trabaho. Ayaw ko nang idisturbuhin, 'di ba? So maybe, instead of saying na, saka lang sila, let's be proactive. Control what we can, and what we can control is ourselves and how we approach them, how we say them, how we say our words to them, So how about we talk next week? O video call naman tayo. After that video call, then you say, natutuwa ako ganito. Ulit tayo. 'Di ba? Tawagan niyo ako anytime. So maybe they're also just waiting for that. So, yeah, circle of control, circle of influence. So focus on the circle of control, and that's something that you can control.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, May, no? Kasi sakit kasi minsan may nakakausap ako mga OFW. Like when I go to another country, may nakakamusta ako kasi sometimes when I go to another country, pag nakita akong Pinoy, kahit di ko kilala, oy, kabayan, ganyan, di ba? Tapos kakausap na kayo, mag-open up na. And thank you sa mga tips mo. especially if they have been experiencing that, to also, yun nga, yung sa relationship na don't allow that setup na matolerate. Kasi siguro, kaya ganun nangyari, parang ganun yung inaalaw mong setup, but be proactive in that relationship. Share what you feel, na ganun yung nafe-feel mo, and wag kang kabahan na kung mag-ano sila, oh, binago ka na ng kayamanan mo, ba't ganyan? Ako, wala kang utang na, di ba? So,
Yes.
response mo sa ganun? Paano kung gusto nila mag heart to heart, sabihin what they feel, tas biglang either ginaslight sila or sinabi, wala kang utang na loob, ba't ngayon rinirestrictahan mo na ang mga padala? Anong mga tip mo doon sa mga OFW natin?
My sister, I have a 25-year-old sister, Neil, and there was a conversation that we had, and then she said, in life, you deserve what you tolerate. That made me think, actually, in all aspects, whether in investment or relationships. So again, you have to know how to set your boundaries as well. There is a way to talk. There is a way to, really maintain a relationship. Again, sometimes also the response of other people is because of what we say and how we say things also. So again, it's really about taking accountability as well. If halimbawa, you have made it a point na, okay, you're single, you're about to get married, gusto mo nang ihanda yung pamilya mo na instead of 20,000 yung ipapadala ko kasi magpapakasal na po ako at meron na kaming plano na mag-anak, hindi na po 20,000, 5,000 na po. 5,000 na lang po ipapadala ko. If say for example, that was the goal, it's also about how you say it, right? It's also about how you say it. It's about how you let them understand. Will they understand? Will everyone understand? Not everyone. Because again, may times nga nasasabihin na bakit? 'Di ba? Mas uunahin mo na yung asawa mo, mas uunahin mo na yung anak ko, yung anak mo, ako nagpaaral sa iyo, ako nag-aano sa iyo. This is where you draw the line. Ma or pa, hindi po ibig sabihin na just because may 5,000 na lang po papadala ko, hindi ko na po kayo mahal. Mahal na mahal ko po kayo. Kaso po ako din po, kailangan ko po ding mahalin yung sarili ko. Eto po, may mahal po ako na papakasalan ko na at mag-aanak na po kami. Gusto ko ring ibigay sa kanila yung klaseng pagmamahal na binigay mo sa akin, gusto ko ring ibigay sa kanila. So ito po, para sa akin, para masustentuhan, ma-providean ko naman, I have to make that decision. Most parents will understand. There are few who will not understand. But I believe, again, we deserve what we tolerate. Halimbawa, if they become abusive, they become aggressive, then you draw the line. Ma, tama na po. Tama na po kasi nasasaktan na po ako. Pero gusto ko lang pong maintindihan nyo na mahal ko po kayo. Mahal na mahal. Yung itong pag-decrease ko po ay hindi po dahil hindi ko kayo mahal. Or wala akong utang na loob. Pero as of now, ito lang po ang kaya ko. 'Di ba? Kesa you tolerate what their behavior are, humihingi ng 20,000 to the point na hindi mo na natutukan yung asawa mo, yung anak mo, uutang ka na. In the end, because their needs are not gonna end, So again, you really have to set your boundaries as well. And my sister also said, Ate, boundaries are not walls, they are fences. So it's not something na just because you created a boundary, hindi mo na sila makakausap or they cannot express or hindi mo na sila tutulungan. They're just fences, na it's not going to be the same as before. Yeah.
Yeah. Kanina when you were sharing your heart out, no, yung sa dialogue kay Mommy, no, yung parang gusto ko maglagbas ng may nagpapiano, no? Parang talaga eh.
Lumalalim, Neil. Sabi ko nga sa'yo, palalim ng itong pinag-uusapan.
Pero I mean, thank you for sharing that, no? Yung mga ganong tips that you really communicate what you feel. Kasi sometimes sa culture natin as Asian and Filipino, yung parang matigil na lang yung conflict, hayaan na lang eh. Pero minsan yung hayaan na lang, it just aggravates the pain and yun nga, na to-tolerate mo, di ba? Like, yung words of wisdom ng sister mo, di ba, na you deserve what you tolerate. On another idea din, you cannot change what you tolerate. So, parang ganun din, na if you tolerate, bakit magbabago yung mga taong naabuso sa'yo kada pag nagalit sila or sinimzone kanila, biglang magpapadala ka sa GCash.
That's diba? Right.
You cannot change what you tolerate. So, pupunta na dapat firm ka. And what you said, which is also crucial, it's really the manner in saying it. Yung heart mo. Huwag ka naman din mayabang na, hindi, wala na. Bahala ka, ginanyan nyo ako, magkanya-kanya na tayo. Siyempre hindi, di ba? It's, your family is family pa rin. You need to still say things with grace and kindness. And maganda yung pinoint out mo na minsan ganun yung nangyayari sa original family natin and pagka nagkaasawa at anak eh. Siyempre, at least perspective ko rin na pagka nagkaasawa ka, no matter how much you love your dad and your mom, priority mo asawa mo at anak mo eh. Kaya yun yung nagiging problema minsan, hirap makapag-say no yung mga kababayan natin. But hopefully, they can learn from this video and marami kang na-share, May, no? Di ba? How to say no, pati dun sa drama dialogue with the people you love. Pero as an OFW rin, no, for 12 years, what have you seen na effective ways para makapag-budget and save sila? Kasi you've been saying about budgeting, saving, pero ikaw, having been an OFW for 12 years, ano ba yung naging effective sa'yo at sa mga OFW?
Okay. Firstly, there a lot of, a lot of books or a lot of people are saying when you budget, it has to be a certain percentage, diba? Like you have to save 30% of your income, yung ganon. I don't do that. What worked for me was, for example, kasi as an example, if you're earning 10,000 pesos and you say to a person, you save 30% of your income, so ang matitira na lang is 7,000. Paano if sa 7,000 na yon, may renta ka pa sa bahay kasi nagre-renta. Sabihin natin, renta is 2,000 pesos. 5,000 na lang. Kakain ka pa. Sabihin natin, budget mong pagkain mo is 3,000. So, 2,000 na lang matitira sa'yo. What if pambayad mo ng kuryente, pambayad mo ng tubig, pang-commute mo? So, that for me is, it's gonna be very hard to really maintain the habit of saving. So, what I do is, for example, you have to know sa budgeting mo, you have to be specific. Ano ba yung kailangan kong pag-ipunan? So, for example, pag-iipunan ko, syempre, ilalagay mo allowance mo, transpo mo. These are the basic needs na sa tingin mo, kailangan mo talagang i-cover. Halimbawa, pagkain mo, renta mo, allowance mo, or for example, kain mo, grocery mo, you have to put that in your budget. And then, you have to put, ano ba yung mga importante sa buhay ko? May retirement fund para pagtanda ko, may pera ko. Investment fund kung magnenegosyo ako. Emergency fund para in case may nagkasakit, dito ko hugutin. Or in case may nangyari, dito ko hugutin yung budget. For example, may life insurance ako, health insurance, para if in case something happens to me, yung family ko covered. Or for example, pag-iipunan mo tuition, right? Importante sa yung tuition ng anak mo or ganyan. So it's not a certain percentage. What I do is not a certain percentage. Ginagawa ko po is kung fix money yan, fix yung transpo ko, fix yung allowance ko, fix yung grocery ko. Pero for example, nag-fluctuate yung sahod ko. Ang ilalagay ko lang sa retirement ko is, example, 50 pesos, 100 pesos for my investment, 50 pesos for my emergency fund, or ganyan. Tapos next month, lumaki yung kita ko. Okay, sige, 500 ang ilalagay ko sa retirement ko. 500 ang ilalagay ko sa investment ko. 1,000 ang ilalagay ko sa emergency fund. I have been doing that for a long time na I have my fixed expenses, but at the same time, kasi sinabi ko, di ba, pag may bonus, mas malaki yung ipon ko sa emergency, mas malaki yung ipon ko sa investment. It was because it wasn't really about the specific number that got me going. It was the habit of saving. It was the habit and the discipline of putting something there. Kasi alam ko, kahit halimbawa, yung kita ko, for example, is 20,000 a month. And then yung expenses ko, yung expenses talaga na chinek ko na yun na talaga yung bare minimum niya. Say for example, 15,000. Yung 5,000 na matitira na yun, iipunin ko yun, i-spread ko yun sa lahat ng importante sa akin. Halimbawa, retirement, investment, emergency, for example, college fund, kahit grade school pa lang yung anak ko, pag-iipunan ko na yung college fund niya, kahit 100 lang yan. And again, it's the habit of saving because I know na if, for example, magkakaroon ako ng 50,000, yung fixed ko na minimum will stay the same, pero yung mga savings ko will increase. So again, para sa akin, for the OFWs, again, make it a habit to save. a habit and be as detailed as possible. It's for me, it's not about percentage. It's about putting something, whether it's small or whether it's big. It's about building the habit and the discipline of saving. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, that definitely helps kasi our willpower can run dry or deplete eh. Importante may habit ka. And when you have a habit, kahit tinatamad ka, pero dahil you are so used to it, naging part na ng system mo, gagawin mo. Di ba parang ano lang yan eh, toothbrush eh. Kahit anong pagod natin sa gabi, magtututbrush pa rin tayo, di ba?
Right, right.
Although syempre may mga exceptions ng mga ibang tao. Pero generally, di ba, nagtututbrush tayo because it's a habit. Ganun din sa pag-invest, sa pag-save, especially if we are an OFW or an OFW. Siguro, another question ulit is that, how important is yung education, financial literacy in empowering our OFWs to achieve financial freedom?
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Can you ask it again? Somebody passed in the
Ay,
ano.
okay lang. Like, gaano ka-importante ba ang financial literacy and education to empower the OFWs to achieve financial freedom?
Yes. It all goes down to, in life, Neil, it's all about, it's a series of choices and it's a series of decisions. I feel that sometimes the decisions we make in life are the decisions that we feel are the best at that moment. But sometimes also the decisions that we make are not informed decisions. And these are usually, when we make uninformed decisions, this is usually, the point where we make a higher chance of, mistakes. So again, when it comes to money, I'm saying it's not the most important thing in the world, but it is important. And it is something that we can control also. Kaya learning when it comes to saving, budgeting, investing, the point there is to really study as much as you can to make, for us to make, for you to make, for us to make informed decisions. For example, panahon na ba para mag-invest ako sa bahay? Kaya ko na bang bayaran ang bahay? Say for example, may pupunta sa abroad, no, mag-o-offer ng, okay, bili kayo ng condo. Pag bibili kayo ng condo, monthly nyo is 10,000 pesos lang, di ba? 10,000 pesos lang. And then, feeling mo, okay, kayang-kaya ko yan. Kasyang-kasya sa ano ko, sa sahod ko, 10,000 lang. Pero we don't know, or, you just sasabihin mo, okay, sige, kuha ako ng 4. This is based on a real true story na, okay, 10,000 lang pala, sige, kuha ako ng 4. Okay? But then, without the proper, like research na, okay, yung 10,000 pala, good for 2 years lang para makabayad ako ng equity. After 2 years pala, kailangan ko na palang bayaran yung whole amount, 'di ba? Maglo-loan na pala ako sa bangko, or kailangan ko palang i-cash, or kailangan pala ako mag-in-house financing. So, malalaman na okay, ang ilalabas ko pala hindi pala lang 10,000 forever, ang ilalabas ko pala is 30,000 if not 40,000 a month. Depende sa value ng property. So, in the end, kumuha ka ng 4 kasi akala mo 10,000 lang per unit. And then you realize na minimum 30,000 pa lang isa. That's 120,000. Hindi mo kaya. So there were a lot of cases na when they found that out, in the end, ang nangyari is na-forfeit yung ibang property. So again, the reason for financial literacy is for us to make informed decision. Right there and then, say for example, may nag-o-offer sa'yo ng condo, kaya ko ba? Teka lang. Yes, may pera ako, pero let me do my research first. Magtanong. There's no such thing as stupid questions, And that also, I also pertain that most especially to finances. There's no such thing as stupid questions. Ask. So that's why the reason, pagdating sa money, it is important, not the most important thing in the world, but it is crucial for us to be successful, to have informed decisions. And the only way we can make informed decisions is when we ask, we study, we do research, and we learn from the experiences, not just our experiences, but also from the experiences of others. So financial literacy, it can sound like a big word, or minsan gas-gas na kasi naririnig natin palagi, financial literacy. But it all goes down to really ensuring that we make sound and informed money decisions. So that's why take time. Keep watching Stock Smarts. Ganon.
Yeah. I like what you pointed out in having not just uninformed decisions but an informed one, because doon tayo minsan nasusunog eh. Kasi minsan, na-hype. uy, ito yung opportunity na once in a lifetime. Pero yun pala, dahil nawala yung due diligence, patay, sunog yung hard-earned money. That's why we really take the time here in Stock Smarts. And even you, May, di ba, you also have a passion to share financial literacy, di ba, sa Investocy, as the business that you have, because we have a heart for our people, especially kababayans na maraming nasa scam or kahit minsan hindi scam pero they're going into something na hindi nila pinag-aralan, yung risk-reward ratio. So it's really important, please do your own diligence. And even if nag-fail ka, okay lang yun. Learn from it. Huwag kang matakot mag-fail. Sometimes naman, yung opposite is, ayoko matakot, ayoko mag-fail, hindi na ako magta-try. Mas mahirap naman yun. You will miss out on something great of you being of value to people more and more. So, may grabe, nag-enjoy talaga ako sa kwentuhan natin. If we have time pa, pero I think we will come to a close. Siguro, one last question, May, to the OFWs who are watching or aspiring OFWs, any words of encouragement, inspiration sa kanila, especially if they want the track that you have of financial independence and all?
Okay. Para po sa mga viewers, again, once again, thank you if you've made it this far sa usapan namin ni Neil. Maraming salamat po, and I hope that you found value in our discussion tonight. For you, kababayan, if you are someone, for sure, before you left the Philippines, I'll go back to what I said earlier. May mga pangarap po tayo. We all had our dreams. And let's remember that dream. Kung ano po yung pangarap nyo, kung bakit gigil na gigil tayo or ikaw po na umalis noon sa Pilipinas, ano po ba yung pangarap natin? Carry that dream with you, hold that dream with you, and work towards getting that dream. And working towards getting that dream, it will really need a lot of self-talk. It will really need a lot of conviction. Minsan sinasabi natin, pag abroad, ang lungkot naman, minsan ako lang. That's how it is. And I really feel that it gets lonely. So this is the time for you to really push yourself na, I know madali lang to purchase as many things para makalimutan ko yung lungkot. But no, I am here because I have a goal. So isipin po natin kung ano yung pangarap. Make it as clear as possible. Isipin po natin yan araw-araw so that we will work towards that. And how does that work? Yung mga pangarap natin, again, look into your finances. Kaya naman po tayo nag-abroad para kumita tayo ng mas malaki as opposed to staying in the Philippines. So make sure it's worth it. And at the same time, as we build on, budget natin, be as specific as possible. As I'm a firm believer po, I have been a testament to that it is really effective. Na kailangan po specific tayo sa goal and sa specific po tayo sa ating mga budgeting. Dapat attentive to detail po tayo sa budget natin. And at the same time, sa pag-budget po natin, minsan may mga temptation, but that is sinasabi nga po nila na if nagpe-pray po tayo ng discipline, hindi naman po ibibigay lang yan ng Panginoon na eto, disiplina para sa iyo, or hihingi tayo ng patience, eto, patience para sa iyo. He will give us opportunities to be patient, to be disciplined. So if there are temptations around, maybe it is it is God's way of saying that is a chance for you to be patient. That's a chance for you to be disciplined. So I really hope as a fellow OFW, I really hope that there will be more blessings upon blessings to come your way. And I really hope that you will have the wisdom to discern, what to do with your money. And also the wisdom to really weigh what matters to me. Ano po ba yung priorities ko? And at the same time, the courage to stand up for your dreams. Para pag uwi po sa Pilipinas, hindi po empty ang bulsa, but mabigat ang bulsa. Kasi alam po natin na you planted well, hence you are reaping well. So I wish you all the best kababayan. And sana pag mapadpad kayo sa Bukidnon, pasyal po kayo at let's meet over coffee. Ayun, so having said that, I'll hand you over back to Neil.
Yeah, thank you, May. Thank you for your inspiring stories. How can they reach you, May? Especially those who want to learn from you, whether financial literacy or as you are doing your consultation as a service delivery. How can they reach out to you?
Oh, thank you, Neil. You can reach me via Facebook. It's May Herong Mendoza. Maybe we can just put it there. Yeah, you can DM me, and then if you have concerns, also when it comes to like if you want to have an example of how I budget, what are the templates that I use. If you want to have a copy of the templates, I will give it to you for free. DM me on Facebook, May Herong Mendoza. I think maybe we can just put it right there para at least makita nila. Yeah.
Sige, ita-type ko. So, tama. Ayan. Para for those people who would want. Pero pwede rin tayo maglagay ng link
Okay.
sa description ng YouTube. But follow May Herong Mendoza. Learn from her. Kung napadpad kayo sa Bukidnon, get so much learnings. Marami kayong matutunan. So, thank you, May. It was an honor again to have a conversation with you. Regards to your family. And thank you, May.
Neil, thank you so much. It's a pleasure, seeing you again. It's really a pleasure seeing you again. It's like family. You and Marvin are like family to Tep and I. So I'm really happy to be here. Again, thank you. Also, conversing with you always is always meaningful. Kaya thank you for this opportunity and thank you.
Thank you, May. So again, guys, I hope you learn a lot. Comment your learnings. And again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, guys. Thank you, May.
Bye.